It really shows the interest that we have, not just locally, but in a broader sense in this question, are gay neighborhoods worth saving? Something that's really been striking to me since we first put out the word that we were having this panel is that I've gotten emails from all over the country from people asking what we were doing and concerned about similar things happening in their own communities. So I heard from people in Detroit and New York and Laguna Beach and West Hollywood and Chicago. And so, this is something that obviously has a real salience beyond just San Francisco, and yet San Francisco has always been such an important epicenter for the queer community. I think that there's a particular import to this question and grappling with this question for our own city and for the Castro. I'm Don Romsberg. I'm one of the board co-chairs here at the Historical Society, and I'm going to be moderating this panel series that we're kicking off with this event. The panel series is going to be called Queer in the City, GLBT Neighborhoods and Urban Planning. And since I'm the moderator and also sort of the one-man show who's running this thing, I don't have a whole schedule of the events for you, but they'll go through next April. And the next one's going to be in mid-late January and is going to be called What Makes a Neighborhood Queer? And we're still working out what the who the people are going to be and what the specific date for it is. But if you signed in, we'll be able to get you that information. That one we're going to look more specifically not just at like the gay neighborhoods like the Castro, but at neighborhoods that are queer in a broader sense. So places like the Tenderloin and North Beach in the 1950s and south of Market and other places around the country. So this Queer in the City series emerges out of a particular upsurge in dialogue about the potentially imperiled future of the Castro. And one of the things that has prodded this along has been the formation of a group called the Castro Coalition. And it's a new group that has basically just emerged out of the last 6 to 9 months, I'm going to say. Is that about right? 5 months? Wow, it seems longer than that. That is looking specifically at how can we keep the Castro a thriving gay epicenter, not just for the city, but for people from all over the country and all over the world, in the face of broad changes that are going on right now that could definitely imperil that. And so if you're interested in getting more information about the Castro Coalition or getting more involved, let, I guess, Alan know?
Yeah, sure.
Who's one of the co-founders of it. And we need more people, more vibrant activity, and we need a groundswell of support for this because, as you know, as you're learning, if you don't know it, neighborhoods, whether they're ethnic neighborhoods or racial neighborhoods or gay neighborhoods, don't make themselves, and nor do they keep themselves going. They have to be constantly fueled by energy and support and specific understandings of much broader social forces, whether it's the economy and jobs, or whether it's what happens in San Francisco when the housing market in one area starts to get tapped out and another area starts to look more desirable. And with gay gentrification, of course, one of the great ironies is that now we're seeing this desirable location, the Castro, becoming a place that's desirable for a much broader group of people as well, and potentially imperiling what we're doing. And so tonight we're asking this fundamental question: are gay neighborhoods, those traditional gay ghettos that were built in the 70s and 80s, are they worth saving? And if so, what should they look like in the future? I mean, we all know that that the Castro ain't perfect, and there's a lot of long-term problems with racism and sexism and classism and all sorts of things that go on in the Castro despite all of its strengths. And so that's an important part of what we're looking at here. So one of the things actually that I was interested in from somebody that wrote me from DC and I haven't fact-checked this yet, so I don't know exactly what the time frame is on it. But apparently one of the gay entertainment districts, and I'm assuming it's one of the African-American gay entertainment districts in the city, apparently is where the new major ballpark is going to go. And so it's a perfect example of how a larger civic interest that seems to represent everyone in a general sense ends up specifically targeting and eviscerating a community that's been able to sort of take its own space through sort of a hard-won fight over a long period of time. And I think it's important for us to reflect upon that as we think about the visions of what the Castro might be for the future from different constituencies and stakeholders. So we've assembled a great panel here tonight. Tommy Avicoli Mecca is a longtime queer activist and a 15-year resident of the Castro who helped establish the first homeless queer youth shelter, as well as the Friday Food Program and the Shower Project. He now counsels low-income and Spanish-speaking tenants of the Housing Rights Committee of San Francisco and writes regularly for BeyondCron.org. He's also an artist that is emerging in his own exciting way. Brian Basinger, who's not here yet because he's receiving an award elsewhere, but will show up at the end for his fabulous part, is one of the co-founders of the AIDS Housing Alliance. And that was created to protect the housing that people already have and to provide resources to secure new housing and to promote public policy to expand housing opportunities for all. He's a longtime community organizer and has been working the corner of 18th and Castro for 15 years in such roles as Bay Area Coordinator for Stonewall 25, the first employee of Positive Resource, and a member of the board for the Pride Parade, as well as a co-founder, of the Freedom to Marry Task Force of Northern California. And he lists a bunch of awards he got here. Ruth Mahaney is the just stepping down co-chair, long-time co-chair of the Historical Society's board, who I love dearly. She's proudly 62 years old and moved to San Francisco in 1971 at the age of 27 in order to live as an out lesbian. She teaches part-time at City College of San Francisco in GLBT studies and gay and lesbian history and has done so for 9 years. She's also taught at SFSU and at Sonoma State and at the New College of California, mostly feminist and queer studies courses. She works at Modern Times Bookstore and has since 1981, and has, as I said, been a board member of the Historical Society basically forever. She's been a resident of the Castro on and off since 1971. And has lived in 4 different locations in the Castro, as well as Mission and Bernal Hill, but prefers the Castro, so interesting lesbian perspective there. She's presently being evicted through an Ellis Act eviction from an 8-unit building. Alan Wayne Martinez grew up east of Santa Maria, California, graduated from UC Berkeley in 1977, and has lived all but 2 years of his adult life as a resident of San Francisco. He's been the owner and principal of Alan Martinez Architect Incorporated since 1988 and has served on the board of the San Francisco chapter of the American Institute of Architects and is currently a member of the San Francisco Landmarks Preservation Advisory Board, as well as being one of the co-founders of the Castro Coalition. Anne Marie Rogers is with the San Francisco Planning Department and describes herself as yet another lesbian planner from a hog farm in Iowa. This whole constituency, you know how it is out here. And she's currently overseeing 2 major projects. Jerry Takano has an illustrious career as an architect, but also has a specific focus on GLBT historic preservation. And when he was a staff member with the National Trust for Historic Preservation, coordinated a national effort to strengthen, recognize, and encourage the GLBT community's contributions and commitment, particularly in urban areas. And he organized the first official meeting of GLBT preservationists during the National Trust's 1996 conference. Since then, he chaired a conference looking back and forward significant places of the GLBT community in San Francisco in 2001, and has been active in the Friends of 1800 as well as with the Historical Society. So we've got a really great panel here, and basically what I'm going to do is give each of them 7 to 10 minutes to say their piece on whether gay neighborhoods are worth saving and why, and what they should look like in the future, and then we'll open it up to a general discussion. So let's welcome them.